Hello, my name is Peyton and I am the graduate assistant in the Study Abroad office. Let's go through some important information on passport and visa application. In this video, we will discuss what is a passport, what is a visa, what to submit, passport photos, passport fees, processing times, the application, and nearby facilities. So, what is a passport? A passport is an official document issued by a government that certifies your identity and your citizenship. It's used when traveling outside the country so that authorities can easily identify you and authorize you for travel. A U.S. passport is available only for U.S. citizens. These passports are small, navy blue booklets. It contains information about you, like your name, your birthday, U.S. residence, etc. Also, it has many blank pages that are used for stamps when you arrive in a new country. You need to apply for a passport to be able to enter a country outside the United States, but once you have it, it is valid for 10 years. After these 10 years, you'll have to renew it, but the process is much simpler. It is important to start applying for a passport as soon as possible, even when just beginning to consider studying abroad. On the other hand, a visa is different from a passport. It also has nothing to do with debit or credit cards. A visa is an official endorsement placed inside your passport that allows you to stay in a specific country for a specific period of time. There are different types of visas, but the most common are tourist, student, work, and transit visas. Unlike passports, which are issued by the United States to U.S. citizens, a visa is issued by the country you are visiting. For most study abroad programs, a visa will not be necessary, so we will not be going into detail on the process to obtain one. To get a passport, you will submit an application, proof of citizenship, and identity, a recent color photograph, and will have to pay some fees. So, the first step is to figure out which application is needed to fill out. There's one for first-time applicants and one for renewal. We will be going over the DS-11 for first-time applicants. On the U.S. Department of State's website on travel, there is information about the application for passports as well as other helpful information. On this page, under Application for a U.S. Passport, DS-11, it has a place to complete the form, either using a form filler or just a PDF of the application. With the form filler, it will take you through the questions you need to answer on the application. Once you complete it, it will bring you to a place where you can then print the completed form. It is not a place for you to submit an application online. The next few slides are of the DS-11 application. This is the first of 2 pages of the DS-11. There's no information to fill out on the first 4 pages, but it has information on how to fill out the form, including in-depth information about the questions and the attachments you will submit with the application. It is helpful to read over this information before beginning so your form is correctly filled out. The next 2 pages have information on the fees involved, as well as how to submit the form and how to receive your passport. There's also information on the laws involved with this form. This is the first page that is necessary to fill out. Most of the information is easy to understand. In the top left corner, this is where you would mark that you want a U.S. passport book and a regular book. The information to fill out is the tan box at the bottom, at the top, while the bottom white box is information that will be filled out when you arrive at the acceptance facility. The next and last page is similar to the one before. All the information that you need to fill out is done in the tan box, while the bottom white box is left blank. There are a few questions that are only applicable if you have exact travel plans. This section is not necessary to fill out. Along with the application, there are a few other things you need to apply for a passport. You will need proof of citizenship if you are a citizen of the United States. For those born in the US, all you need is your birth certificate. US citizens who were born outside the United States will need to provide more documentation. This includes certification of birth abroad, a certificate of naturalization, and a certificate of citizenship. Depending on if you gained US citizenship through birth, through naturalization of a parent, or through adoption, different documents may be required to fulfill these requirements. All of this information can be found at travel.state.gov. You will also need some sort of proof of identity. It is preferred that you submit a primary photo ID. You only need to bring one. This can be a driver's license, a certification of naturalization or citizenship, a current valid foreign passport, or one of the approved IDs listed on travel.state.gov. If you have none of the accepted primary photo IDs, you can submit at least 2 of the secondary IDs. This could include a social security card, student ID with photo, voter registration card, a learner's or temporary driver's permit, or one of the other options listed on travel.state.gov. Now onto passport photos. There are places like Walgreens, CVS, and the UPS store that will take the photo for you, as well as a few passport acceptance facilities. Otherwise, it is important to make sure you follow the specific instructions for an acceptable passport photo. If you already have a photo that fits the criteria, you can use it if it was taken in the last 6 months. The photo must be a clear photo of your face with no filter or editing. As well, the photo should be taken by someone else so your head is properly in the picture. The photo needs to be taken against a plain, uniform white background. And below, there are many specific details on the resolution, print size, and quality. For the pose and expression, you must have a neutral expression on your face and face directly towards the camera. Also, there are many things you cannot wear for this photo. This includes glasses, even if you typically wear them. You also cannot wear a uniform or camouflage and should try to wear clothing worn on a daily basis. Also, your full face must be visible with no shadows, so you are unable to wear a hat, head covering, or have headphones or other wireless hand-free devices in the picture. There's an exception to this for religious or medical purposes, but you must submit a signed statement that verifies this or provide a signed doctor's note. Here are some examples of photos that would be approved and rejected. All of them are clear and in color. In the first row, the second picture, the woman has a big smile, which is not neutral. In the third photo, she has her mouth open. Although throughout the rest of these photos, there are not plain uniform backgrounds, things on people's head that don't fall into the exceptions, and shadows. Applying for a passport has a fee. The fee has changed recently. For first-time applicants above 16, a passport book is a total of $165. For renewals, it is $130. The processing times have also changed recently. Passport processing, once you submit all of the applicable things, can take a while, so it is important to plan ahead. For the regular routine process, it takes 7 to 10 weeks. If you need it quicker, you can pay an additional fee and it will come within 4 to 6 weeks. If you need it even faster, you will need to go to a passport agency or center. You can check the status of your application online. These times and application status do not include mailing time, so it can be even longer than 7 to 10 weeks, depending on the postal service. So, you have all of the things you need to apply for a passport. You have your application, your proof of citizenship, your proof of identity, your passport photo, Now you have to go in person to an acceptance facility to finish the process. Here is a list of the closest acceptance facilities to IUPUI. For most of them, you will need to go to their website and make an appointment online. Occasionally, there are some who will have walk-in hours, but it's better to make an appointment so you know you can be seen. That is the main information you need to know to apply for a passport. If you have any questions, you can go to travel.state.gov or contact our office at abroad@iupui.edu or 317-274-2081. We can do our best to help you, or we can point you in the right direction. Thank you for taking the time to listen and learn all about the passport application process, and have a great day.